Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, and linger. Don't forget to live the life you love. That's really important too, huh? All right. Oh, it's my Wednesday bad joke day, making fun of my own cultural background and inviting anybody else who's willing to admit that nobody is really white. It's only white thinking. A couple of generations go back. We all come from somewhere else. So Judaism is not an ethnicity, it's a cultural experience, but there's plenty of comedians to deal with all the sadness. Nonetheless, this man is converting to Judaism in order to marry his wife. So the night before the wedding, he goes to the rabbi because he's been told, you have any problems, the rabbi's going to tell you what you need to know. So he says, all right, Rabbi, I have some questions. Yeah, okay, go ahead, but well, I just want to know, after the wedding, can I dance with my wife? No, absolutely not. Men dance with the men, and the women dance with the women. Oh, interesting. Well, what about, can I eat the meal with my wife? Oh, no. The men eat together, and the women eat together. That's just how it is. All right. But I have some other questions, too. Sure, anything. It's about making love with my wife. Okay. Is it all right for me to do the missionary position on top? Well, Jews don't call it the missionary position, but that's fine. What about with the woman on top? Also, no problem with that. Well, what if we go from behind, like doggy style? Some people think it's kinky, but there's nothing in the halacha that says it's contraindicated. All right, well, one more question. What's that? Can we do it standing up? Oh, no. That could lead to dancing. All right. So for my journaling friends, I love this word pilgrimage. Normally we think of like pilgrimage to Mecca, pilgrimage to the 108 shrines in India, pilgrimage to find yourself. Pilgrimage is a life journey. But although the original reason might have been going to a sacred place for, we could call it religious or spiritual reasons, anytime you go somewhere to a place that's associated with something that's well known or respected, whether it's like the grave of somebody, or you go to a national park because the beauty of the land speaks to you in some way. So where have you done your pilgrimage? And of course, as you know, all pilgrimages ultimately are to your own heart. But just like Dorothy, you had to go to Oz to find out there's nothing like home. But where did you pilgrimage or not? Let me know what you think about that, or discuss it with your friends, and we can talk about it. All right. Now, there's no doubt about it that success comes from disciplining yourself in whatever field. We've been watching the Olympics, and you can see the training that these people go through in order to be the top of the class. And our own teacher just reminds us, it's up to each person to intensify and expedite their commitment to a disciplined pursuit at the earliest possible time. Don't delay, because every moment you delay is another moment in ignorance and maybe pushing you further and further away from fulfillment. Everybody's afflicted with pains, and it's our job to either lessen them or maybe overcome them. Depends on what the pain is and how you go about it. But this teaches every individual to serve in the world despite all the obstacles that we face for the betterment of life, even with its underlying dysfunctions. That's where yoga practice. And again, if you practice yoga, you feel moral outrage in your third chakra. We've all been kicked in the gut by injustice. But what do you do with your anger? Anger is a fuel you have to learn to motivate yourself with. If you just get pissed off at other people, like the Buddha says, it's like grabbing a hot coal from a fire to shove in somebody else's eye. You burn yourself first. So there is righteous anger, but not self-righteous anger. And the anger of a trustworthy person is that they know how to get angry at the right person for the right reasons, and the right expression of it for the right or the appropriate amount of time and the inappropriate manner. And then your anger is kind of like on the bridle of love. It does something really different. Now, we're all facing, in terms of what I would call the disease of developing self, our human race, our children are dependent for longer in our species than in any other animal on the planet. They're not going to survive unless somebody else helps them at the beginning. But sometimes there's a lot of trauma No one gets away from this rugged process without getting scarred. And so it's time to heal those things, because otherwise, instead of thinking you're driving, we're being driven. And this week I've been going over the list of the different kinds of pains that, I've learned in the men's circle. Everybody has this. So it's not really a gender thing. It's just in the safety of the circle you can share these things, and you realize everybody has this. So what are some more of the pains that we carry? Well, the burden of leadership, stepping out in front and taking on the projections. Like I always say, once you're a leader, you got a bullseye on your front, not just on your back. Getting older also, yourself, dealing with your own issues. The burden of an elderly parent and what will happen to them. The projections about that. Low back injury, diabetes, high cholesterol, blood pressure. The sacrifice that some men make of their personal life in order to thrive in business. They think they're helping to provide for the family by spending so much time away. Not listening to your own heart, so painful. The fear of being here, embodied. Regret of missed opportunities. Hiding, not really showing your true self. Thinking that your family in some way is a bunch of strangers to you. The burden of not having a life direction. The burden of living in your head. The pain of body shaming. Have you ever been ridiculed for the way you look? The pain of being rejected and not accepted. The burden of faith and expectations on you personally, on your family, on your community. Just as an example of some of the things we're facing. So my Native American shamans keep reminding me, open the portals of my imagination is what they say. Let sacred expression come through you, funnel through you, because whatever comes through you is unique. That's the beauty of each one of us. They broke the mold each time. So may we all release the barriers that hold back our flow. May we all stay with what's natural to ourselves, instead of disallowing well-being by diverting your attention to less worthy aims. Once you realize no one else is keeping you from anything you want. Just like you have that old program, Magellan. If you tell it to take you where you've been, it takes you right back there. You can't get to the new by talking about the old. Right? Set your GPS for a new destination, because that system's not going to scold you, not going to ask you, how long have you been holding on to this other thing? It's just going to reprogram you. So use your brain that way, use the law of attraction, that which is like unto itself is drawn, and find the joy that's inside yourself right where you are, because joy and happiness is not the result of a specific thing. It's just training your mind, training your consciousness, training your awareness to ride with more ease and more flexibility in this roller coaster of life. Have a great day.